Yo, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
Eta, welcome to another episode of Wow, What a Week. This week, we haven't done this in a while. Have a kid who kicks ass. So this feature is where we speak to young people we feel if you don't know them, you ought to know them, or you will know about them sooner or later. And today's guest is quite a rock star. He's a DJ, he's a producer, he's also a misfit, and I like him. He's next.
This is Wow! What a week. What a week. This kid really kicks.
Jumping straight into This Kid Really Kicks Butt. Rockstar DJ, entrepreneur, multifaceted creative. He started hounding me back in 2023. He sent me a text saying he got my number from someone else and he'd like us to do some work together. His name is DJ Latty Misfit. And he's on Wow, What a Week. My dude, how you doing?
Awesome. I'm awesome. I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Latty 101. Just give us a brief background about who you are, where you're from.
My name is Latty. Those are my government names.
Okay.
I'm from Botswana.
Sure.
I have recently moved here.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to relocate to South Africa, to further pursue my dreams of becoming a world star DJ and a producer, music producer.
Yes, sir.
So I moved here. It's been something that I wanted to do, but I had been, procrastinating for a bit because you always feel like it's not the right time yet.
What are you scared of initially? Because eventually when you decide, okay, I'm going to jump into the water, what is stopping you from jumping into the water at the time?
Sometimes you feel, what if I don't make it when I get there?
Sure.
I don't know anybody there. Mm. And it can be a difficult thing, like moving from a place where you're already established.
Yes.
To becoming a nobody and starting from scratch again.
Starting from the bottom again.
Yeah, so that can also be one of the things that, will scare you a bit. Mm. And also you don't have any connections. You don't know exactly what you're going to be doing there, how you're going to be making money.
Sure.
So that could be a little scary, especially if you're in a comfort zone where you are, you know what I mean? Like you are surrounded by, the people that you're connected with. As a DJ, there's been clubs that I've been already working with, bars, some festival people that I've been working with. I had my connections.
Sure.
So now here it's like a clean slate.
Your black book is empty.
Exactly. So you got to start from scratch.
So to any creative or any kid, in fact, or any professional for that matter, that wants to relocate to a different market, basically start from scratch, what have been your learnings over the last 3 months? Because you relocated to Joburg in January.
Yes.
You packed your bags and you're like, I'm going to Joburg.
Yes.
I'm chasing my dream.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What I can say is there will be challenges.
Sure.
A lot of challenges.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. And people need to know that though I'm new here, I might have been calling it starting from scratch.
Sure.
But I'm also starting from experience.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? I've dedicated my life to this craft. That's all I do. That's all I think about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming here, but I'm also using the knowledge and skills that I built from Botswana.
Sure.
You get what I mean? So it might have taken me probably close to 10 years to build back at home. But it'll probably take me shorter.
Yes.
Even if it didn't, I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to put down the discipline that's needed. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put myself in a situation that, look, there are things that I'm going to sacrifice.
Sure.
Before I left Botswana, I had to get out of a relationship. I had to now...
What do you mean you had to get out? It's a 3-hour drive at 120 k's an hour.
No, okay. There's sacrifices that you have to make sometimes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had to quit alcohol for some time.
Okay.
I had to quit smoking weed.
Sure.
Stuff like that. You know what I mean? So for the past 3 months, I hadn't been like taking any alcohol until like 2 weeks ago.
So
that's when
what's alcohol got to do with what though?
Sometimes substances can be a distraction.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They've proven countless times that people make it makes people a bit slower in terms of like the work that you can be putting in. I mean, the older you get, the more time you need to recover after a hectic weekend of drinking.
Well, for you guys, some of us, naki ganda ganda. We went out on Friday. He was there on Friday.
Yeah.
Botsang from Politrix was there on Friday. And I think we probably all got home like about early Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I was up at 7 at gym. At 8, I was at a park run.
The thing is,
at 9, I was at breakfast with my kids. I had 3 gigs later that night. Guys, focus.
I mean, like you said, you're a different breed. So for me, it was even worse because I had, actually, it wasn't even 3 months. The last time I had a drink was early November last year. And then I decided, you know what? I'm about to get into this journey. I started fasting for it. I started praying about it. I started researching about it. You know, I had been saving up for it. You know what I mean? So it's something that I was I was preparing myself both mentally and physically.
So when you're saving to relocate,
yes,
like what are you factoring into your savings? Is it, I need to make sure I've got 12 months of rent. I need to make sure I've got 12 months of basic groceries. Like, how do you budget your savings?
That is how you're actually supposed to. In a perfect world, it should have been 12 months.
Okay, so how many months have you paid for?
3 months. 3 months, bro.
Yeah.
And then I was like, the rest is on God, you know. But, you know, luckily, you know, things have been, you know, planning out.
Slowly working out, yeah.
Yes, you know, so all you need is faith, fresh. You know what I mean? Like, not that, obviously, the hard work and the plannings and everything, but planning and everything can get you till a certain point.
Yeah.
You also need like a lot of faith to just be able to say, you know, I'm gonna pack my bags and I'm gonna just go. You know, so yeah, you need to make sure that your rent is sorted. You have some sort of money to, because when you leave your country, most of the time you can't really bring everything. Yes. You gotta leave everything behind. You gotta leave your bed.
You left your woman, bro. For good.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Well, assuming it's a woman, maybe it's a guy.
No.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking, I am straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to buy a bed from scratch. I had to buy like everything from scratch. Yeah. You know what I mean? So because I brought, I had saved up to buy myself Dex XTJ 1000s.
Yeah.
And DJM 450 mixer because I was planning on renting them out when I get this side,
for
and
income.
also for the sake of like also getting my skill on point.
Sure.
You know, then when I got here, I had also saved up, but I ended up with my last 2.5.
Yeah.
And I invested it into like bettering my skills even further in terms of like DJ.
Okay.
It was my last money. It was my last money in my pocket.
So what did you do with it?
I paid for DJing school.
Oh, wow.
Just to put my skill to the next level.
But you DJ already?
I DJ already, but I can always get better. So I believe in like investing in your craft.
Okay.
So I was like, I read a lot and I listen to a lot of podcasts from people that I want to be like.
Sure.
There's also something that Alex Hormozy said. He said, even if you had like your last money and you invested it in your craft, it's worth it and you will make it back, because the biggest investment you can never make is in yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, and I prayed about it first because I was like, yo, but at the end of the day, this is real life. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can read all the books, but like there's real life.
And Alex Hormozy is there making millions there.
You know, he's in his private jet. Now I'm here. You know what I mean? So it was that situation where I was like, you know what? I prayed about it, meditated about it. But then I was like, you know what? My instincts are also telling me I should do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I put my money into that, into the DJing school. Then funny enough, I got that money double from the same DJing school because they wanted to rent my decks.
Oh, wow.
So I got my money back that I paid with. And then I got like, was it like I got double of the money
Yeah.
that I had invested. And then I started also meeting other people here at the M Studios who were able to like open other doors for me. And then the same guy from the DJing school is the same guy who ended up giving me the first platform to play at Kitcheners.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Which is where I got my first gig. They heard me play, and then when I spoke to them about wanting to host a monthly event at their place, they were like, "Yeah, no, we heard you play. You're good." So it didn't even take more than 4 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes when your instinct tells you something,
Sure.
and if you really believe in yourself and you pray about something, you have faith in yourself, you believe in yourself, go for it, and then the rest, God will decide.
In fact, I was at your event at Kitcheners this past Saturday.
Which I appreciate.
And that was your first ever event.
That was my first ever event that I was curating on my own. I've played in other establishments here in South Africa ever since I got here.
Sure.
But it was my first like own curated event.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been in the country for less than 3 months.
Yeah,
and
facts.
already you're curating an event.
Yeah. Hey.
Talk to us about the importance of meaningful networking and delivering on the promise you make. Because a lot of us network and speak ourselves up here, but when it's time to deliver, we don't show up for ourselves. And often it's the reason you don't get the second chance, because you fucked up the first one.
True.
Let's talk about that quickly.
It is very important, like when you, firstly, networking, that is your net worth right there.
Yeah.
Like I was blessed enough to learn that at a very young age.
Yeah.
I've always been the type of guy who, when I see somebody or when I see something and I want it, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Like even like people will say, which means you're not afraid of anything.
Yes.
But it's not that I'm not scared sometimes, like when I bump into like a DJ Fresh.
Yeah, because sometimes the person you're approaching, you're literally shitting yourself.
Yes.
But you're like, I'd rather go there with shit in my pants than go home and say I wasted an opportunity.
I fumbled it.
Exactly.
Because the beauty of networking is that you could have my opportunity.
Yes.
You could have the keys to the doors that I've been knocking on. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'll even have to like prep myself up. You ain't no bitch, nigga. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
You do this in your sleep, bro. Go and talk to. What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is you saying no.
I mean, you texted me out of the blue.
Facts.
In 2023.
Facts.
And I responded.
Yes. And it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? But I would have never known if I didn't try.
Sure.
You feel me? Like if I didn't, like the first time I actually bumped into you properly and then asked to like work with you was when you came to Botswana. You had a gig at some establishment in Block 10.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had to prep myself up and then I went to talk to you. And then I kept on pestering you. Then I stopped for some time. And then I continued pestering you again.
This guy is unrelenting, guys.
You know, and what
but you know what I appreciate about your drive is that it's not in your face and annoying. You know what I mean? You're coming from a place of, I am this kid that just wants an opportunity. Just let me in the door. That's what I love about your hustle.
Thank you so much.
That you want to be let into the door. You're not asking for special favors. You're not asking for putting me on. It's just, if there's space for 2 more feet in the room, let me in and I will see to finish.
Yes.
That's what I appreciate about you.
And sometimes I just want to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So wait, the question was about networking.
Yes.
And
the follow through, the importance of follow through.
The importance, and it is very important to follow up on whatever you promised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as much as the world seems like a big place, it's also a very small place.
Sure.
You need to have some sort of what do you call it? If you say you're gonna do something, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know who knows who.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And also just for the sake of integrity and for you to move forward. Because when you get an opportunity, you never know what that opportunity is going to open up for.
Absolutely.
I do something with you, it becomes like you're impressed with it.
Sure.
You're going to refer me to the next person. You feel me? So what we really do have at the end of the day is our word and what we deliver.
Sure.
And what I can also say to the young people out there who are hustlers is just that, you know, you can't afford to have pride when you're trying to push.
Yes.
Obviously, you can't overpester people, but at the same time, don't have pride like, I talked to this nigga now, he's not replying, so now I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like, just keep on trying, and sometimes give certain opportunities time, because maybe they're not meant to happen now.
Sure. Let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Work on other things while you let the other opportunity breathe. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's what I can say.
So you did your first curated event at Kitcheners in Braamfontein this past Saturday. I showed up with my gang,
With your entourage.
to come and support you.
Yes,
and
sir.
we will be performing at your next event.
Blessed.
Whether it's at Kitcheners or anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
But what I noticed about the night one is I probably only knew one or two names on that list, on the flyers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I was happy about that, because often we think we need massive names to curate a decent event.
True.
Whereas if you've got your community of people, you could be the only DJ playing that whole night. Your community will show up.
True.
And people showed up for you on Saturday. People showed up. Dude, even the Dalom kids came to your event.
I was humbled, fresh. I cannot even believe. I get emotional every time. Like I think, I can't recall the amount of times I just went over the videos, the pictures where I'm just like, I've just been here for 3 months.
And also because you're a content freak, you're shooting everything.
I have to. I have to. Content is currency these days.
Absolutely.
So I was just, the event was not, I wasn't pushing the event to just be about the big headliners.
Yes.
No. The event was about the concept.
Yes.
The concept is about fashion, it's about the music, and it's about just, the vibe, the ambience.
Absolutely.
So that's what we were pushing. So people knew the theme.
Yes. And they came out dressed.
They came dressed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beautiful thing about it. The music was beautiful.
Yes.
We had also we had diversity. It was also inclusive. If you get on my Facebook page, if you get on my Instagram, you will see the diversity.
So Latty Misfit.
Misfit.
Okay, Latty.
Yeah, Latty _Misfit.
Okay.
The name comes from always having felt like I didn't fit in.
Sure.
I was never
I
the
wonder
cool
why.
guy.
Maybe it's the mohawk.
Nah, I was never the cool guy.
Maybe it's the massive ponytail that goes down to your feet.
But I've never ever felt like I fitted in.
Yeah.
Even from Botswana.
Yeah.
I would work my ass off fresh. I could even get into a set and I would kill it more than the people that are headlining. I mean, the crowd never lies.
Yes.
If the crowd is going crazy from the beginning of your set to the end,
Yeah.
that is what it is.
Yeah.
And then next time I need to still bag again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've wanted to work with so many people. I've always put down my A game.
Yeah.
I talk. There's always people talk, no action.
Yeah.
I talk and then I act. I do both.
Sure.
People say work in silence. I don't believe that. I don't 100% believe in that, but I respect those who do.
Sure.
I talk and then I do, like Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? So that's how.
What did Ali say? It's not bragging if you can. What did he say? Something like it's not bragging if you can deliver on it.
I am so.
Something like that.
I'm a big fan of Ali. So
Yeah.
I'm so. Yeah. So, but that's how it's been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always been a misfit, and I think another thing that made me a big of a hustler was being forced to grow up younger.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I was raised by I was raised by my grandmother, but like ka Setswana.
Sure.
If your biological mother gave birth to you, maybe like at really like teenage pregnancy.
Sure.
My mother was 16
Yeah.
when she gave birth to me. Usually your grandmother will take.
You'll take over.
Yeah, the mother wa the teenager will take what's ngwana teng in wa gago.
Sure.
So that's what happened, and it was kept a secret, like most of like my childhood.
So you had no idea your grandmother wasn't your mother?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And my mother was my sister.
Oh yes.
So I found out like I think if a couple of months before my biological mom passed away. You know what I mean? I found out that through my you know, people always
relatives will always blow shit out the water.
Hey, but it messed me up, fresh.
I can imagine.
It messed me up. Like I felt like my whole
this entire time you're thinking, I've got a sister who's 16 years older than me.
Yes.
Can't it's your mother.
Kante's my mother.
Yo.
So it was weird. Like, hey, like it felt like my whole
life was a lie.
I had to like just try and reprocess everything from scratch. You know what I mean? My father and I never met him. And my grandmother, I appreciate her. She grew us in the faith. I grew up as
I was going to say, your grandmother was like a in fact, you can't say staunch Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Because you're either a Jehovah's Witness full stop or you're not.
Yeah. No, like
maybe
she was deep in.
Maybe that's why I didn't open the door the first time you knocked.
Because all of you hide.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, she grew us up in the faith at Jehovah's Witness.
Sure.
It was a very Jehovah's Witness is strict.
It's very strict.
You can barely do anything.
So you didn't celebrate birthdays, Christmas, nothing?
Nothing.
If a car hit you, no blood transfusion?
No blood transfusion. You're gone. Like you are a sinner.
And then you must go knock on people's doors.
And you gotta go and knock on people's doors. And you gotta also like stand on the pulpit at church like and preach also. Like,
oh wow.
So, but there's always like, everything always happens for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Growing up in those conditions is what helped condition me into being disciplined.
Ah, yes.
You know what I mean? That's why I can stand up on my own and just go and do something. When I put my mind into something, I could do it.
Yeah.
Also, the knocking on people's doors. We got rejected a lot. You try and say, hey, can I give you a watchtower?
That gets you ready for the industry.
Exactly. Because you will get rejected a lot, fresh. A lot.
And you're knocking on doors all the time in this industry.
All the time, you know. So she was basically directly preparing me for real life.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So she might have she passed away when I was in
Form 2. Oh, she passed away when you were in junior school.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
She passed away in junior school, but my biological mom passed when I was in when I was in primary school in grade 5.
Yeah.
So, but like my grandmother left me, so you know, like I'm no longer in the religion.
Yeah.
But I appreciate
the foundation.
The foundation. Also, you know, being able to stand up in front of people and preach and talk to people. The rejections, everything. You know what I mean? Like it was. It helped me grow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that as well, you know.
But losing your mom or your sister, as you thought she was in primary school, losing your grandmother in high school, in your second year of high school, and then you don't have a dad in the picture. How in your little mind are you reconciling all of that? There's this loss. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, so I'm expected and held to a certain standard. But I'm also a child, and I just have dreams, man. Take us through the mental of all of that.
It was hard. I think I might not like admit it all the time, or I never used to admit it. But like at the end of the day, that is trauma.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned a few of people that I've lost.
Yeah.
But before that, it was my grandfather who passed away like in grade 1.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like when it finally hit when my grandmother passed away, that's when I left the religion.
Yeah.
I was so angry at God because that was the week I was getting baptized.
Oh, wow.
And that's what my grandmother always wanted. So that week,
She never saw it happen.
she never saw it happen. It happened on a Monday. She got hit by a car while crossing the road at Rotsana Kakumalapo crossing. You know what I mean? In Gaborone. So, that destroyed me.
Jeez,
you feel me? So I was left in a situation where I was confused. Kore, I was used to doing things to impress my grandmother.
Ah, yes.
Passing at school, because I was an A-star student.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even throughout high school till varsity. So I got to a point where I had to learn to do things for myself. And it was weird at first. You know, it traumatized me, I won't lie. Like, just losing people, it gives you that, like, also like the uneasiness, what's the name of the word? Like, where your anxiety.
Oh, yes, you're anxious all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes you, as a young person, you feel it's your fault when people pass away because it's like, what's wrong with me?
Sure.
Why are all these things happening to me? You are moving from place to place. You're moving to the other relatives who also have their own problems. I remember I went to go and stay with my uncle after my grandmother passed away. And it wasn't as easy.
Sure.
Because they also, you know, they have their own lives.
Absolutely.
They were not prepared for it.
And if you were not a relative, they would not have taken you in.
Of course.
So already you're an inconvenience.
I was an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So it was a very traumatic road, when my cousin ended up passing away as well, like my uncle's son.
Yeah.
Under like very mysterious situation, because he was also, I think he was 3-4 years older than me. So he ended up passing away. And that meant we also, they couldn't like take care of us anymore. So I had to go for boarding school now.
Jeez.
So I went through a constant feeling. I'm always anxious.
Feel like a puzzle.
Hey,
you don't know
yo,
when's the next tragedy that's going to upset the peace I'm learning.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You are moving from place to place. So that on its own,
sure.
But I did appreciate going to boarding school after some time, because I used to be the guy, I wasn't a guy's guy.
Sure.
You know, I wasn't very good with guys. So when I got to boarding school, I got to learn how to, you know, like socialize with other guys to see, okay, there's a system.
Yeah, there's codes.
You can't exist on your own.
Sure.
You got to have your own guys. If you don't have guys, people are going to steal from you. People are going to find ways to beat you up, fight you for no reason just because they're jealous. So you also got to have your own people. It has to be a barter trade also, like at some point, you feel me? So,
yes, sir.
But yeah, to sum it up, Hella, it was a traumatic experience. You feel unwanted. You feel, it gives you a certain level of low self-esteem as well. But, you know, you get to a point where you say, you know what, at the end of the day, you can feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can just keep striving and do something for you. And
what's the saying? Things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
They happen for you.
So don't waste the opportunity to look for the silver lining. It's always there.
100%.
Always there.
100%. So yeah, can't feel sorry for yourself forever. I had to just be a man, pick myself up and just keep pushing and try to find my purpose in life, which I'm still doing. It's not easy, but like you find it along the way. And traumas, they don't heal overnight. You know,
you learn to live with them, actually.
Yeah, you learn to live with them. You learn to try and also try and find help.
Sure.
Talk about it if you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
which boarding school did you go to?
I went to Good Hope Senior School.
Flip, all the way in the south?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I went to Good Hope Senior School.
I had a girlfriend in Good Hope.
Oh, yeah?
I was 18. I would catch the bus.
Yeah.
I'd catch the bus that goes towards the border, to the Mafikeng border. And then I'd get off at a bus stop.
Yeah.
And then they had a house, but you had to walk like 5 Ks in. Like
hectic, hectic.
You just triggered me.
Yeah, no.
I wonder where she
Good
is.
hope.
Anyway. So, what was the big takeaway from your event at Kitchener's this Saturday? Because, like I said, people came out. You had a lot of support. A lot of students came. It was amazing. Like I said, the Dalom kids were there.
The biggest take was I learned to see the importance of community,
Sure.
and the importance of networking and treating your people good.
Sure. And you worked that room. You spoke to everyone in that room.
I had to,
Yeah.
because they are there for me.
Sure.
Because even after I played, people started leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like the last person to play.
Sure.
Actually the second last person to play. So it just showed me that you can build something for yourself. You know, like just have like your close people, make sure that they're good, they're attended to. Even after the event, follow up. Thank everybody who came, that you appreciate them coming through.
Sure.
Make sure that give them a call. You know, like also I got to learn that give people an experience and they'll always be there.
Don't take people for granted.
Don't take
and
people
and
for
their money.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's what I can think of right now from the top of my head.
Sure.
It's just that we just came from a very heavy topic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was still, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good.
When is the next event? If we want to support DJ Latty, Misfit, when do we come to the next event, or where do we find you online? What else are you working on?
Latty_Misfit on all social media platforms, Latty, Latty_Misfit. On Facebook, it's the only one that's different. That is Latty in capital letters.
Okay.
So that's where you find me. That's where you get the updates. And that's where you also get to appreciate my journey. I have my whole journey documented. Like you say, I record everything. My whole journey from even like when I left Botswana till I arrived here, everything is documented. If you want to appreciate and see more of what you didn't see or hear here on the podcast, you can go appreciate there. Also for the event, it's going to be a monthly event. But also if you want to see other places where I'll be performing, or if you want to see my music, that's where you find everything on my social media platforms. With Kitcheners, we're having a sit down this coming week. We are going to be talking about how we're going to rope Fresh in.
No, but I'm confirmed already.
Yeah, no, definitely. But we're just going to have a sit down. Like after every event, it's very important to sit down and have a review.
Sure. And an honest debrief.
Yes. Okay, did we reach our goals? What can we improve moving forward? Because if there's something that didn't work out, you need to work on improving it. And if there's something that did work out, you need to do more of it. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dude, thank you for the impromptu chat.
Thank you so much.
This is literally a classic example of be game ready regardless of where you are. Because one of our guests didn't show up, but my dude here is shadowing us on the podcast. So like, my guy, you're it.
Yes, sir. Young, ready, and hungry.
You could have shat yourself and said, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
But you didn't. In fact, the first thing he did is like, there's a shop here that I have a relationship with, so I'm going to go get an outfit.
Yes, sir.
Dude, you've been in Joburg for 3 months.
Yes,
You have
sir.
a relationship with shops already. So who dressed you? What shop is this?
I was dressed by Deezas, Color Garb. They're located in Newtown, Junction Mall. There's also one in Limpopo that just opened. So yeah, that's where.
How did you develop a relationship with them? Like I said, you are 3 months in Joburg, bro.
I mean, before you go to a place, you gotta treat it like a woman.
Sure.
There has to be foreplay. So you keep on. I kept on coming. Like I came like 3 or 4 or 5 times. 4
So
times to SA.
you've been cultivating relationships.
I had been cultivating some of them.
Yeah.
With Kitcheners, no.
Sure.
I had no relationship with them. But with the Deezer store, I had met them before through somebody. So it's like everywhere you are, treat people well, because and Oskanya about.
Sure.
Because you never know who's going to be the next person who's going to give you an opportunity.
And often we look down on people based on how they dress or how they look.
Yes.
I've walked out of car showrooms because I was wearing shorts and a vest.
Yeah.
And they didn't attend to me.
Yeah.
I went and bought a car somewhere else. I've never bought a car in a suit. I'm always in shorts and a vest. I see a car, I'm like, oh, it's not a bad car, let me check it out. But there's one place I went to and this guy could see that. This guy's in vests and shorts, and he ignored me. I told him it's fine. And I went and bought next door so he could see I'm buying
in
next
their face.
door. But anyway.
Yeah. No, so that's how it all happened.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, but shout out, my dude.
Thank you so much for having me.
Like I said, I'm proud of your hustle. Your hustle inspires me, and a lot of your hustle reminds me of younger me, because to pack your bags and leave for another country, it's not pop in place. It comes with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. Often doors are shut in your face. Often you feel like a misfit, or you feel like you don't belong, or you are treated differently.
Yeah.
But as long as you've got your game on point, as long as when you are put on by the coach, proverbial coach, you deliver, you will never not be in the game. I don't care which country you go to.
True.
As long as you deliver at every opportunity you get, you'll be fine.
And I just wanted to say also, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
As well. You don't owe me anything.
Yeah.
I'm not your son.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not your cousin.
And if I owed you, I'd buy you hair food. That hair needs a lot of care.
You know what I mean? But on the real though, I appreciate everything that you're doing for me.
Sure.
You know, like I said, you don't owe me. You don't have to do none of it for me. And I pray that God blesses you as well.
Sure.
So that you keep blessing more people. You know, whatever opportunity and whatever knowledge I'm going to acquire from you, you know, I'm going to grow myself.
Sure.
And then after I grow myself and make you proud as well, I would love to assist others. But as of now, I have no help I can give properly right now, because you can't. you cannot pour into. You can't give what you don't have.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I need to fill up my cup and then make sure that I can assist others.
There's a saying, don't ask me to fagger you when you can see I'm trying to fagger myself.
You know.
Let me fagger myself first and then I'll fagger you later. So always remember that. And I think sometimes people don't realize that we are all in a struggle.
Facts.
But because we're now, you make it seem seamless. They think you're in a position to fagger them.
True.
But you're also drowning here.
True.
So I'm drowning, now I must take you, and now we're both drowning.
And
you know, so I think sometimes read the room before you ask people for help.
True.
Because often they're trying to get into the same doors that you're trying to get into.
True.
Ladies and gentlemen, Latty Misfit, remember that name, follow him. His story is inspiring. Go check him out. And would you ever go back to being a Jehovah's Witness? Or is it too late now?
It's too late, bro.
Okay.
It's too late. But I'll treasure the lessons forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Latty Misfit. Hashtag this kid kicks ass. Coming to you from AMP Studios, we're part of the Africa Podcast Network. We're going to do this again next week. Shout out to Trevor and all of his team at Pezulu West for the cinematography. Shout out to Keleso Modisakeng. She is our executive producer. And to you that tunes in every week, you subscribe, you like, you share, you forward, you're part of the family, you comment. We appreciate you. We see you. And let's do this again next week. Till next week, have a wow week in spite of yourselves.